There they go into the back. The blue light on. We have a race, and Satnova's beaten Pure Steel out by a length and a half.
Welcome to Talking Trots, hosted by Mortz and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
The sensational Sydney sider, Seals to Sam, comes off the back straight. He's a bucket load of alliteration, this fellow.
Scott Bomber Hill will join the boys to look at the Friday night meeting at Gloucester Park.
Here comes Quinny. I'm the mighty Queen is four deep and letting go.
Sit back and enjoy Talking Trots with Mortz and Michael Radley.
I'm the mighty Queen is just in front. Dasher VC can do no more. And the West Australian champion has done it again.
Welcome to Talking Trots for another week. No Morts or Rads here this week. Myself, Ollie Cownie, and I'm joined by Glen Moore here this week, and we're going to be stepping in, hopefully doing as good a job as Morts and Rads do, but certainly big shoes to fill. Glen, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks very much, Ollie. Yeah, pleasure to be here on such a big night too with all these Westbred races. We've been looking forward to that clearly the last few weeks, and we're finally there. Heats were run and won, and horses qualified. Many anxious breeders and owners looking forward to a huge night at Gloucester Park.
Oh, it's a fantastic night of racing tomorrow night, and really all 10 races, great fields, some really nice horses. It looks like some horses which will go on to bigger and better things in the future, and there'll be a few nervous connections with fantastic prize money in nearly every single race.
Exactly, and tonight's a stepping point, an enormous stepping point for careers in terms of trainers, owners, drivers, breeders. And then you look forward after these, the big Westbred night. Some of these horses will go on to the Slipper, Derby, Nugget, that type of thing. So we've got all that to look forward to after tonight, and just see what the pecking order is for some of these horses and the races coming up in the future. Yeah,
it really is exciting, and there certainly will be some horses that go on to do to win races like the Nugget, and hopefully a few of these horses go on to make a open class free-for-all level, because ultimately that's really what you want your young horse to be able to do in the future, and then maybe win pacing cups and things like that. It's a really exciting time. Where our guest today he's got a really, really good book of drives, and he's got 18 horses in as a trainer tomorrow night, and that's Aiden De Campo, and his star mare at the moment. Gee, she's been impressive, Wishing Bell.
Certainly is. Look, she looks like a filly of the future in terms of just not a 2-year-old. She's got the depth to go on and do bigger and better things, but having said that, we'll get through tomorrow night first. It's always a tricky drive from the back line draw. We'll discuss that with Aiden. The horse has got the ability and the flexibility to be driven a number of different ways, Ollie. So that's up Aiden De Campo's sleeve. And she's got that mental toughness by the looks of her to make a great filly and mare long term as well.
She certainly does. It is a bit of a tricky draw, but no doubt she looks the class filly at the moment out of these 2-year-old fillies, and she's going to take plenty of beating. We'll go to the break with the replay of Wishing Bell winning last start very impressively by a big margin, and then we'll hear from Aiden De Campo after the break.
On Sky Hiatus trying to work into the clear but can't get out. She Supercharged is still there as a corner around the bend, and it's all Wishing Bell well clear of Drop the Ace. Nice Sky Hiatus gets into the clear, and also She Supercharged as well, but doing it well is Wishing Bell over the final stages. Sky Hiatus zoomed into second place, but Wishing Bell wins it well. Wishing Bell by about 25 metres to...
So it's a really interesting week of racing coming up. We've got the Len Smith Mile at Menangle, which is a really exciting race. There's some top quality horses like Swayze, Max Delight going around there, and there's some exciting, less exposed types like the Janitor, and we've got the star mare I Keep Smiling as well. She'll be really interesting to watch, taking on the open class boys there as well. So it looks a really good race and should be interesting.
Certainly is, particularly the return of Swayze. Clearly Swayze trialled very well. The Janitor, the up-and-coming one, as you suggested, we don't really know how good the Janitor is. I think we're going to find out next 12 to 18 months. Pretty good. Max Delight just keeps doing it, doesn't he, in the mare, as you suggested. I Keep Smiling, basically an unbeaten record. I think she's still got a string of wins.
How are you going?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Not too bad. Just out fencing.
You're under pressure because we're going to talk about the football as well as trotting.
I'm more nervous about the football than I am tomorrow night.
I can imagine. The first question I'm going to ask you about the Dockers. Sarong, Brayshaw, Young, V. Anderson, Rowell, Tuke Miller. How are they going to go?
Yeah, it's going to be a hard one. I don't know. It's pretty well matched, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That could be the defining moment.
Beat Darcy and Jackson. It's pretty well matched.
Yeah, exactly, on the ball. And then I think Fremantle might have the edge forward line, though. They've got a pretty dynamic forward line. That's where they might get on top. I think maybe Gold Coast have got less weapons. That's my gut feeling. But the weather could be a great level. I'm actually going to the game. You going?
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I got
a ticket?
I bought seats in the sports lounge.
Oh, beautiful. That'll be good.
Yeah,
I just managed to get that one-off ticket. They're very, very hard to get. You just have a go. And I was 9,600 in the queue and eventually got down and grabbed one. I just took what I could get. So I was pretty happy about that. I'm not a Fremantle supporter, but I like going to those games.
Yeah, it'll be a good game. The weather's a bit annoying, but it'll be what it'll be.
I'm a long-suffering Docker supporter as well, Aiden, so I'm hoping they come out on top as well. But whenever you go to Dockers games, there's a little bit of you're a little bit nervous, no matter how well they're going at the time.
Yeah, you've gone up in my books a bit, Ollie. You know, us Docker supporters, we've got to stick together. We've been through the hard times, so we're just waiting on the good times. It's going to be a bit of fun when we do.
Being an Eagles supporter, I think I'm waiting longer than you are currently. A lot of patience required. Tomorrow night, pretty exciting night. Aiden, the Westbred night, just chocker full of interest. A lot of tactics involved. You've got a lot of runners involved in the night. You're going to be a busy man. When an overview for you of this night in terms of the efforts you've put in to get these horses to this level.
Yeah, it's obviously going to be a big night for us. I think we've got 14 there and a few emergencies. So, it's probably, probably years of work, when you buy your 2-year-olds from the sales and when people breed them with these big money 2-year-old race, the 215,000 for the Westbred. Yeah. You're always aiming at them. That's the biggest cherry for the season. So, to get as many there as I have this year, I have had the numbers, but to kind of get the quality to come through and get them to the final. And, the job's, 3/4 done. And hopefully tomorrow night we can, make a stand. Like my stable's probably 90% Westbred horses. So, a lot of the time we aim all our horses at this night. That's why we kind of got so many in work at the moment and so many racing tonight.
The interesting part is with you changing to address your property to Hopelands, that would have taken a little bit of adapting too. I'm a bit surprised and pleased for you that you've been able to adapt to that property. I know you had the track done. I think Brad Stampelier might have been involved with that for you. But that's a big thing too, get that track right. Otherwise you're sort of travelling off the property. How did that all work out?
Yeah, I moved probably 2 days or 3 days before Christmas last year. And kind of at the start of the season was kind of seamless because I kind of was jogging here and then moving to tracking to Pinjarra to Hobble, and then once the new Hobble track was done, probably 4 or 5 months into the year, and we kind of moved from Pinjarra to the Hobble track at home. Probably took me about two months, I reckon, to really figure out what was good and what was right, and then once you kind of figure it out, it takes a little bit for your horses to adapt to it and that as well. You can't just do one thing with a horse one day and expect it to work, 2 days later. It takes, 3 or 4 weeks of repetitive kind of stuff for the horses to kind of work. I'd probably be lying if I didn't think I forgot how to train there for a little bit when a few horses were kind of just going fair when I thought they should have been going a little bit better on their work and stuff like that. But, over the last probably 2-3 months, I feel like I've kind of got a handle on the situation and, kind of figured out what to run time-wise on the tracks and, you just kind of going through the property and getting the feed right for the new place and, making sure everything's, 100%. So at this stage, we kind of got the system right. But as you know, of horses, you think you got it one day and then the next day you don't. So, at this stage, it's working well for us. But, there's always challenges ahead.
Yeah, look at the adaptability of working out times on, say, a half-mile track at home when you're working at Pinjarra, whether you're running 3-5 on your property now Might be different what you used to run at your property down south. That's a very big challenge just to work out how fast you're going and whether you've done enough with horses, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of took a heap of heart rates before I kind of left Capel and was kind of doing them after we finished jogging and obviously after we finished hobbling and trying to work it out on that way. I was just quite lucky that I kind of had a couple nice horses at the time that I know go all right and can work decent times. And my track in Capel was probably half as good as the one I've got now. Brad's done an absolute brilliant job with this track I've got here. It's the exact same circumference as Gloucester Park. Obviously the camber's not as big because it's not as wide, but it's unbelievable. It's held up through this really wet winter as good as anything. I haven't missed a day on it. So been really happy with the job that he did, and it's good to see some rewards coming through for a little bit of hard work and a little bit of tough times we kind of went through, but it's got good staff behind me that have kind of helped us through as well.
As Glenn alluded to, it is a pretty huge achievement to get nearly 20 runners through on such a big night with such amazing prize money, and we might get stuck into those runners tomorrow night. And in the first race, you've got a couple of pretty good chances. You've got Gatecrasher in there who's drawn the better of the two, and he's probably he's probably somewhere near peak fitness now, fourth up, is he?
Yeah, he was just probably a little bit disappointing on face value last week. He's just not a horse that enjoys being cuddled back on the rails. He's quite a big loping kind of horse, and when he was unable to hold leaders back, and then we got crossed twice, and he just didn't feel comfortable on the fence, wanted to run up the track a little bit, and then when he kind of got out, he didn't really sprint like he can. He kind of took a little bit, but then he's probably doing his best work on the line. So, he's a horse that's kind of risen in grade really, really quickly. I think he's only had the 10 or so starts for me. He's gone from a maiden to racing, really nice horses in town. So, he's improving with every run he has, more mentally, not physically, but he's got a decent draw. He's probably got to use him a little bit more off the gate tomorrow to kind of hold a position further forward. I don't want him getting too far back from that decent draw. In the past, I've just kind of let him flop out, but Joe will have to, make sure he runs the gate a little bit more tomorrow and try and hold a more forward position. But the 2500 and being off the rail probably is going to suit him down to the ground. You've
obviously got Menemshah who's following out Gatecrasher in the same race there tomorrow night, and he was a bit of a surprise winner in the feature race last start, but by the sounds of things, it wasn't as much of a surprise to you. If you told me he was going to beat Mag Storm Friday morning, I would have told you you're dreaming, but I told all the owners he's going there for a bit of a trial for this race, but
it was a perfect
get
storm,
the job
not
done.
A magnificent storm.
Perfect trial, yeah. But he has come back really good this time in. He's been really, really sharp, running really good time and doing it really easily at home, and just seems to kind of be back in that really good vein of form where he was when he was in that 2-year-old form as well. So 11's probably a decent draw for him. You don't have to do anything to find a position, and then obviously he won over the 25 first up, and I think he really relishes that trip, and hopefully he's finishing over the top of him late.
Yeah, for sure. Magnificent Storm. Just touching on that, obviously it's gone sensational, this preparation, and clearly we know what happened last start. It was a tactical battle that didn't work out for anybody except for Menemshah. But Menemshah took advantage, was good enough to do it. Magnificent Storm from Ray, is there any word on having the break now and coming back and getting ready for the big races? Is that the plan?
I actually haven't spoken to him, Glenn. Right. All I know is that the horse pulled up well from that run. Yep. If anything, I think for a little break now, or he just hasn't raced for 2 weeks because there's been no races for him. So no. I actually don't know.
Fair enough. Going on to Copycat Queen, the glamour mare, I think possibly the best mare in Western Australia. Obviously needs to be driven in a certain manner, but I think its speed is something that could conquer the other really top-class mares in this state, given the fact that she's so quick. This race on Friday night doesn't look easy, though. Considering the draws and where you are and the tempo of the race. We saw that last week with Bricky's Dream, just how difficult it can be in that situation. But clearly Friday night you'd be confident it'll run a good race, but not as easy as it looks on paper.
Have I got you there, guys? So you just dropped out.
You got me. Could you hear that last bit?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, she was really good last week. Probably if this race wasn't this week, I might have actually driven her in a different way. I might have actually popped a little bit earlier and see if she could have made a move from the 1,000 or something like that. But with this race in mind, and she was first up for a month, just wanted to see her hitting the line really strongly, and she did that. If you had asked me pre-race the draw, where would I like to draw? I said 11, and we got 11. So perfect draw for her. She's in the moving line. It just depends how far we get shuffled back and what kind of tempo goes into the race, whether, what Lion Clean leads or, Waterloo even crosses from out wide. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but that's out of our hands. We just have to kind of drive it that one way and come with that one run, from the 600-700. But as we've seen in the past, you can really let rip for 600 metres. So, and she's shown a couple starts ago when Joey drove her, she won over the 25 in good time as well. So that's going to be no problem for her heading forward.
Interesting. You make the point that you could probably pull out earlier with her. Now that you can sort of trust her form, she obviously had those issues where she wasn't quite right mentally or for what other reason. But now there's probably the opportunity one night to actually get her moving early when the pace is not right for you.
Yeah, definitely. And I think even if she draws a gate, she does have decent gate speed. We might even opt to try and lead with her a couple of times. She leads up in track work and works really, really good. In the past at 2 and 3, she's always been a little bit too revvy, so I haven't really wanted to fire right up. And then when she gets keen, she never seems to finish off like she can. So this time in, she's settling really good. So, obviously not going to happen tomorrow night, but in the future, we might have that option.
In race 3 was another one that won at a big price last start, and it'd probably been building quite well leading into that race win. Rock and Roll Artist, and he draws quite awkwardly inside the back row. What do you think of his chances?
Yeah, I've punted poor Joey off 2 last start winners tomorrow night. So if they get beat, I bet you'll be having something to say Saturday morning. But look, he's a funny horse. Like, he comes back, he works up real good, and then he just goes to the race, and he's disappointing for his first 3 to 5 starts, and then all of a sudden you just kind of feel him kind of getting back to his normal self. And 2 runs ago he went across the line bolting, and Joey come back, he said, I think this horse is ready. And then he got the job done last week. Inside second row draw is a good draw for him. Just the horse in front of us doesn't have a heap of gate speed, so we might end up a lot further back than what we really want to be. But it's going to be a genuinely run race with, a lot of the better horses drawn wide. So, he need a little bit of luck, but hopefully he can get some.
Aiden, race 4, it's Martime, a horse you've had to manage through its early part of its career. It's had a few little issues we hear about. Feed issues is what I've heard. You can confirm that. Well, you have to sort of nurse it, and maybe you can tell by the way it paces on occasions that it's had a few issues in gating. Is the horse sort of over those issues, or are you still a work in progress? And the other question would be, Raynette now comes in underneath you with the scratching, a little bit of a negative for the early part of the race for its Martime.
Yeah, we still don't hobble her at home. She gets ridden in the saddle and gets galloped in the heavy sand. She just has she's got really bad feet for some reason. When she hits the ground, quite hard, and the vibrations really echo through her feet, and she can get quite sore on her feet. This time in, I've touched wood, I haven't had too many problems with them. She's been really good in that instance. So I'd say that she's over him at the moment, but I reckon too much, racing on hard tracks would bring her back into it. So we just err on the side of caution with her and make sure we don't put her on the hard track that often. I thought her heat run was pretty good. She just got a little bit keen on me middle stages. Didn't look like it, but I was quite fighting her, and she just probably took a little bit out of her late when that one got up the sprint lane and beat her, and she probably needed the run a little bit as well. So I expect her to run a really good race tomorrow. Obviously Raynette coming into 3 probably works against us a little bit, but we'll come out running tomorrow and just see where we get to. I think she's pretty versatile. She doesn't have to lead, but it would make it a lot easier.
The interesting part there, I See You Baby, could actually help you if you can't get the spot you want in the first place. I See You Baby might take care of the pace of the race.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a race wrecker, that horse, isn't it? When you want to be on speed and it just pulls like it can do. It'll work in your favour sometime, work against you other times. So, it's like I said, I think sometimes it can be a bit of a race wrecker, but we'll just see what happens tomorrow night. Like I said, my filly's versatile, and let's play it by ear and see how we go.
In race 5, you've got Last Hard Copy, who I thought was a really super run last start in the heat at Pinjarra. He's drawn a little bit awkwardly here with maybe some of the better chances drawn underneath you. What do you think of his chances?
Yeah, I think he's a good each way chance, Ollie. He's going to need a little bit of luck in running. 2 runs ago, he just wasn't right. He had a little bit of pulled up a bit of a foot abscess after that run, and he's only a little flashy colt and probably doesn't like running for a little bit of pain, and then probably needed that run second up because he missed a little bit of work. And I thought he ran really, really good, ran a quick quarter down the back and just got a little bit tired up the straight. But really happy with him. He's probably got to go back from that draw and hopefully get a trail into it somewhere. And if they've gone relatively even throughout the race, he'll be hitting the line strong, that's for sure.
And wishing Belle, Aiden, your up-and-coming champion filly. Look, she's so versatile. You're probably happy enough with the 11. I guess you wanted the front line, but you can let it all unfold early and take it from there. Looks like on paper, I'm Category 5, probably get the lead. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if the one horse wanted to hold up. It's led twice in its career and run 156 both times. But on paper, it probably looks that way. I'm Category 3 is not blistering out of the gate either, so it wouldn't surprise me if maybe Crunch and Sip or the one at Quadro is out wide, has a look at him early, So, the more speed on early, the better for us. But, can't be happy with her heading into Friday. I thought her work on Tuesday, she's so relaxed at home, and you normally add her to make her do her track work, and AJ didn't have to turn the stick on her on Tuesday morning, which is unlike her, and she was really sharp and pulled up super from her work. So really happy with her heading into it. We'll just kind of play it by ear. We're in the moving line there. Just let them settle, and we'll pop around when the pace slows, or if it doesn't slow, we'll just come with one run late. She is quite fast if you need to sit her up as well. So so versatile. Her manners are so good. So she's going to have to be really good to win tomorrow night. But hopefully she's good enough to do it.
Elray's Girl's got the beautiful draw, particularly if your theory's right about Mars Attack and holds up. But even if it doesn't, a 3 back there is not a bad spot for Elray's Girl. Clearly, its last start was not suited by the pace of the race, clearly. And a comment about Elta's last 2, obviously drawn out of it here.
Yeah, Elta's last looks hard from 9. She's a little filly, tries her ass off every time she goes out there. But, you're going to find it really hard from 9. I think Elray's Girl, she was quite disappointing in her heat. Pulled up a little bit of snot in her nose and that. So knocked that on the head towards the end of last week. And her work leading up to this week's been a lot better. I still probably think she's probably 10% off for tomorrow night. But, that draw gives her a good shot to kind of earn some good money tomorrow night. But, she's going to be a nicer filly when she has a break and comes back, I think.
One in race 7's probably caused you a few headaches in Better Move Matty. He's obviously shown a lot of ability so far, but he's done a few things wrong in his races. But last start, he really looked like he put it all together there when getting off the gate nicely and leading all the way. Are you confident he can do that again?
He's he gave me a couple of headaches, but it's funny because he's been a beautiful horse the whole way through when we've broken him in and coming up as a 2-year-old. Like, I've had no gear on him. He's never had a head check on or anything like that. And then in the heat of the Pearl, he just went up to the gate and just started shaking his head around and threw himself out of his gear, and then did it again 5 days at Bunbury. And then I thought, well, maybe I better put some gear on him. So since I put the gear on him, he's done the 2 trials, and I was pretty cautious in the heat, and he got out well. So, Ideal Beach is obviously going to be very hard to beat from 1, but I'm really confident he'll run a good race. He'll have to press forward and hold a forward position. I would have thought. I'm probably not scared of sitting outside Ideal Beach. A couple times in the Pearl, we kind of took a trail on another one, and he got away with a fair bit in the middle stages, and turned it into a sprint home. I'd rather kind of have a bit of a more even kind of race tomorrow night. So we'll just play it by ear and see how he goes. So
if you do find the breeze, that's a position you'd potentially like to hold?
Yeah, more than likely. I could see myself holding that unless El Maestro wants to come forward and put a lot of pressure on. But Robbie kind of popped around and we kind of didn't run the speed in the Pearl. So tomorrow night I would like to kind of run more decent sectionals early and through the middle stages.
Wheels of Fortune is another horse you got in that race, and he looks like a bit of a professional, and he's been really impressive so far in his career, but he draws out a little bit. And do you expect him to just get back in the run and be running on late?
Yeah, he's getting better with every run. This horse, he was well behind the 8 ball early on in the season when we were heading to the Sales Classic, and I said to the owners, just be careful, just be patient with him. He's going to be a nice horse. He just hasn't figured it out yet. And this prep, he's probably come on a lot more than what I thought he would. I thought he'd probably still take another prep to kind of switch on. But yeah, he's really put it all together this prep and gets better and better with every run. So yeah, I'll just instruct Dill to see how he goes. He's quite versatile. He's got a bit of high speed and he's got a fair bit of toughness as well. So I'll just let Dill figure it out of the gate. I don't want him snagging from the gate. So he'll probably press forward at some stage as well. And give him every chance because he's probably in the top 4 or 5 in the field on ability. He's just got that real tricky draw in 6.
You've got an emergency in that race as well. Last King of Capel, if he was able to get a run, do you think he could figure somewhere in the money?
He needs 1 or 10, that horse, and I don't think the 1 or the 10 are scratching. So,
and the last one in that race is American Machine. He was quite impressive last start when not beaten too far. And he has that 10 draw, which looks really good on paper. What do you think of his chances?
Yeah, he's a good place chance from there, and a small winning chance if things go wrong for the favourite. I thought his last start was his best run. He's been a horse that's done a few things wrong, and me and Joe have been tinkering a few things with him, just trying to get him to race right and do everything right. And his first couple of runs back, we've just been really babying him, making sure he's doing everything all right. And then, last start I said to Joe, we've got to put his big boy pants on now and actually ask him to run a little bit when push comes to shove, and he did that, and he hit the line really good in what was a quick half. So, if he can hold up leaders back and do everything right, yeah, he's a definite top 4 player.
And talking about Last King of Capel, it's in race 9, without it being scratching in the other race. It's probably a winnable sort of race, a very even sort of race, bad draw, a couple of scratchings, 1 and 2. Wouldn't be out of that race on ability.
No, I wouldn't have thought. There's a couple drawn in that'll probably be hard to beat. But he's a handy enough horse. I actually own him myself. He just kind of been a bit of a late mature. It took a while for him to get pacing, and he's kind of improved a fair bit each time he's kind of come in, and I've kind of given him no easy races. So it's probably the first time he's raced probably back in his grade a little bit. So he's probably not a horse that can make his own luck, but if things go his way, let's hopefully can run in the top 5 and get the owner some well-needed drinking money for the footy on Saturday.
Exactly. Gentleman's Promise and some line of the horses you referred to? Yeah.
There's a couple there that'll work forward, and horses that probably were first up in the heat, that'll probably improve a little bit, and it's an even kind of field, these ones where the ones that didn't qualify, so it'll be interesting to see.
You've got Joey Savalco on a few of your horses, and he's been so impressively recently, driving a few big winners on a Friday night. You must just be so pleased to see him progressing the way he is.
Yeah, definitely. He started for me when I moved up here, and I kind of said to him, I said, there's not too many drives for you, mate, but I'll put you on when I can. And just the way he started driving towards the start of this year, and that he's just kind of made it hard for me not to put him on. And, every time I do put him on, you go, the confidence he's going to do the right thing. And, he does a lot of work for me at home. And, he's getting the rewards, which is really good to see. I think he's probably underutilised as a driver at the moment. I think he still gets kind of tagged as a junior driver when, he's only got that three-point claim now, so he doesn't get those drives anymore. I think he could probably get a few more hoops in town and mix it with the best drivers in the state now.
It definitely seems like he's been able to make that step up, and he's a very competent driver, Joey. So, I think in the future people will realise that and start putting him on a bit more.
Yeah, a long time ago, someone said to me, "You're only as good as the horses you can drive." So, it's all about opportunities, and I've given him a few opportunities over the last kind of 6 months, and he's probably gone above and beyond, really.
Aiden, the last race, Maddie Lou, likely leader, I would say. Would that be right?
Oh, I hope you're right. It'd be good if she did. I think she'd be hard to beat if she did.
What
she
worries you out of
hasn't
the
seen
gate?
daylight the last 2 times
No.
I've driven her, so if I'm in front, that way I can't get held up and Mike can't get angry at me.
True. Gate speed?
Yeah, she's got enough. Probably needs the 2 inside of her to hand up, but she's got enough to hold her own, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, she's got air marshal inside your barrier 1, that'll sit. And outside your Star Lily, maybe she's a Sassy Lassie. There's not really that much speed outside you.
Yeah, well, that probably works out good for us.
So lead and be hard to beat?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I would say we'd be leading and giving her every chance. I think on her run at Pinjarra, she was really good. And last week, I thought she would have gone real close. If she had got out, I was kind of climbing all over him and just had nowhere to go. So,
sweet.
Thanks very much, Aiden. Really appreciate your time today. Hopefully you can drive and train a few winners tomorrow. Good luck.
No worries, guys. Thanks for that. Appreciate
Good luck to the Dockers.
it. Cheers. We
I'll
might need it.
Yeah.
See you, mate.
Thanks, guys.
Talking Trots for Snooze Cannington and Coburn. It's amazing what a little snooze can do.
Factor just in front. Here comes Al Capone though down the outside. Al Capone and Rock and Roll Artist come together. Rock and Roll Artist just in front. Al Capone tries to get Rock and Roll Artist. Rock and Roll Artist beat Al Capone. And third in Armour X. Banner in the straight. Soho Moonraker on the outside is Safer. Louis Dior is finishing hard. Safer has raced up, taken the lead. Louis Dior. I'm Lightning Banner flies late. Safer's in front and Safer has won. Safer from a photo. Louis.
There's always a lot more in store for you at Retrovision, like Retrovision's lowest price guarantee. If you find a lower price on a same-stocked item, we'll beat it. There's our 60-day price promise, where we'll refund you 120% of the difference if you find a lower advertised price on any purchase. Plus, RAC members save an extra 5% every day of the year. After 60 years, a lot has changed, but there's still a lot more in store at Retrovision.
That was Safer winning impressively for Bob Millsop on Friday. Was able to run over the top after there was a pretty strong tempo set by Lincoln Lou and also Mr. Fantastic out in front. Really did set it up for a swooper, and Safer was able to come over the top and win quite impressively there and at a pretty good price after what was a quite a good first up run, Glen. Yes,
indeed. Safer was very impressive. I was on it first up. It loomed up like it was going to win and just couldn't quite get the job done. Did over-race a touch and improved dramatically. That was a big rise in class and did get the right run into it. But having said that, it got pushed up the track down the back a little bit and still was meritorious when it switched 4 deep to keep coming. And I was really impressed with it. Bob Millsop was a big rap for it, very confident. I think on drive when he spoke to the boys, very confident that it would measure up to that jump in class, and it certainly did.
Yeah, it sounded like he was quite confident first up and even more confident second up. And obviously the improvement in fitness and obviously they might have figured a few things out during the week and it's made all the difference and was a very impressive winner there on Friday night in a 50 grand race. So yeah, they've got a fair chunk of money back pretty quickly
happy
there.
Birthday for that one. And look, the way it looks, it's got gate speed too. So I think we'll see different elements of this horse. Clearly it's been around a bit, but its form's been reasonable everywhere it's gone. So, and it's young enough to be a progressive horse, I think, and it might have improved a bit coming to Western Australia. And hopefully, for the owner's sake, they can win a few more races for sure.
Definitely looks like there'll be a few more wins around the corner for Safer. We've got Bomber Hill on the show to find us a few winners for tomorrow night. Welcome to the show, Bomber.
G'day, Ollie and Glen. How you going?
G'day, mate. Got the gremlins out there. I don't know if something's interfering with the... Can you hear the gremlins through that line or not?
Yeah, it was a little bit scratchy there. It seems okay now. Is that all right?
Cleared up. Yeah, that's good, mate.
Yeah.
So we've got a few races to look at on Friday night. It looks like a fantastic card of racing, doesn't it, Bomber?
Oh, yeah, there's going to be... it's going to be keen out there, that's for sure, always when there's plenty of prize money up for grabs. It's we get some pretty exciting racing, and yeah, tomorrow night's going to be no exception, that's for sure.
And a wet track, Bomber, just to throw the curveball in, just to make it really interesting, which could
you got more rain. I thought surely that rain has to stop at some point.
The big rain's coming tomorrow, unfortunately, is the forecast. Hopefully we can dodge some of it, but it's always going to be interesting how it changes during the night. Parade ring is going to be very important for how the track's playing tomorrow night. Particularly if it rains a lot, as to whether the leaders have got a huge advantage or whether the weather does give opportunities for some of these horses in the slog, if there is a slog, to make ground.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. It can play different ways, can't it? So, first of all, hopefully the Dodgers Gloucester Park and we get nice fast track. But otherwise we'll just have to sort of play it by ear throughout the night, I guess.
The first race we'll have a look at tomorrow night. Looks like a really good one. It's race 2, celebrating harness owner Julie Cooper, 4-year-old Westbred mares mobile start, and we've got number 1 Lion Queen at $2.90. We've got Princess Katie $31. We've got Atlantic Gem $51. Sugar Delight $31. Loctay $101. Lady Camel $101. Waterloo $3.60. Grand Coteau. We've got Grand Coteau at $91. Naze Vera $11. Her Presence $9. Copycat Queen $3.10. Push Button Rock $151. She's a Sassy Lassie $51. And Do You See Me, one of the emergencies, $41. Which way are we going here, Bomber?
Yeah, rip the race, but with Copycat Queen, Ollie, I mean, she's pretty reliant on at least even speed, if not, slightly upside down. But, not many of these 100K races at Gloucester Park are run at a dawdle, so I think she'll get her opportunity. She's pretty well a one-trick pony at this stage of her career, but one trick being a high speed is pretty exceptional. So I think if she's close enough at the 400, they won't hold her out. It'll just be a case of getting onto that right helmet to be sort of within 8 or 10 metres at the 400, and then, that lethal turn of foot she had will come into play.
How do you see it playing out early, Bomber? Lion Queen, possible leader. Waterloo, be interesting to see what they do out of the gate.
Yeah, that's the interesting part. The two stablemates, obviously, who look to have a bit of control over the speed of the race. So unless something else wants to sort of kick up and have a bit of a look, it could, they may get the opportunity to dictate. And in that case, Waterloo probably allowed to roll to the front. But I'm just hoping, given the prize money on offer, they do run it pretty hard.
How many units, Bomber?
2 units. She's just so fast. It's within 8 or 10 metres, and we're pretty confident, I think, Glenn.
Okay.
Steel Blue Boots, built for comfort, made for work. 736, stockist nationwide. Steel Blue Boots, a mark of true skill. View our range of premium work boots at steelblue.com. Steel Blue Boots, Steel Blue, designed for comfort, durability, choice, backed by 30-day, 100% comfort guarantee. Steel Blue Boots, whatever you do, Steel Blue Boots are tailor-made to help you do your best.
In front, Rebline coming at it hard, and then Sunshine Swift, but in front, Her Presence grabbed by Rebline. Rebline takes the lead, and Rebline has just won from Her Presence.
Loans 123, car loans, debt consolidation. Contact Steve Sell at Loans 123, offering a free credit report. Contact Steve Sell on 1-800-100 to get yours. Still doing things the banks can't. The next race we're having a look at tomorrow night is race 3, and it's another really fantastic field in this race. There's a lot of depth. We've got Soundwave at $41, Cam's Boulder at $18, Louis Dior at $8.50, Paul Edward $51, Instigator $8, Hotly Pursued $5, Al Capone $34, Otis $17, Mighty Ronaldo $1.80, Rock and Roll Artist, that impressive last start winner at $21, Long Reach Bay $71, Armour X Factor $9.50. Which way are we going here?
I'm very keen, Mighty Ronaldo. I think the price is more than fair. I've marked him shorter. The $1.80, it's the easiest race he's seen for a long time, I think, and he's got very good gate speed. So despite the wide draw, I think he'll just bully his way to the top and be too good. There's good speed underneath. There's a couple that are faster off the arm, but I'd be amazed if they tried to hold him out when Junior puts the acid on. And once he finds the front, he just looks in a different league to these. I think he'll find the front and win.
What have you got the early leader? Louis Dior's got gate speed. They might attempt to lead with Louis. Hotly Pursued's another one with gate speed. And we saw Paul Edward last week let loose out of the gate. Whether they want to do it again in this scenario, a bit of a surprise tactic last week that nearly worked. How do you see it early? Which one do you think might be the early leader?
I actually thought Paul Edward might be the first one to the pegs. He's really fast off the arm, and it's not a bad scenario for him to do that. And then even if he gets double crossed and sits 3 pegs, he's probably not a player in this type of race. But I thought he could find the pegs first.
You're very confident here. How many units, Mighty Ronaldo?
He's a 5-unit bet. I thought he'd be much shorter, and I do expect that he'll shorten up. And I just can't not see him in front. And as a result of that, I think he'll win.
He will, by the sounds of how much you're going to put on it, with a 5-unit confidence. I sort of feel as if you might be letting loose on Mighty Ronaldo tomorrow night. Could be a big shortener. Inspired by you.
I think so. He just oozes the class in this type of race, I think.
Definitely. So it's 5 units, Ronaldo. What's the next one?
The next one we're going to have a look at is race 7. It's one of the big feature races tomorrow night, the Allwood Stud Farm 2-year-old Westbred Colts and Geldings Classic, which is a fantastic field, and the betting is headed by the $1.26 favourite, Ideal Beach. Waves of Fortune, $41. Toby George, $71. Better Move Matty, $7.50. Butter Me Up, $71. Wheels of Fortune, $12. Wake Up Jeff, $41. El Maestro, $9.50. Better Behave, $31. American Machine, $34. Chugach, $34. Cease to React, $51. And the two emergencies, Last King of Capel, $91. And Amamushu, $91. Which way are we going in this race, Bomber?
Yeah, ripper race. The 3 really good horses, but I thought on a place basis, Better Move Matty was the one. So long as he does everything right, I cannot see how he possibly misses a drumming. I think we're essentially taking $1.80 about him going away at the end of the day. I see him landing straight outside Ideal Beach. El Maestro has to push forward, I think, and the 1-1 will be there for Better Move Matty. And based on what we've seen so far, it's impossible to see him missing a place from there. So, and like I touched on, so long as he goes away, he's much shorter than $1.80 the place, I think.
Yeah, I think he could breeze and run a place without any problem at all. If, in fact, he ends up holding that position, he's a very strong horse. We've seen that before in some of those performances. So breeze or 1-1, either option, I think, gets him into the money.
Yeah, I agree. I just think, El Maestro, I can't see him going back. If he goes back, he probably has to go back to last. I just do think that he will push on to the breeze. But, I wouldn't be fussed if this bloke was in the breeze, that's for sure.
The trick there, of course, is if you have to be aggressive with Robbie Williams would have to be aggressive to get that forward position. You can't sort of come after the settled because
after the fact,
too
correct.
late. So you've got to get there early. So it'll be interesting what Robbie does there in terms of that, because if he does want that position, he's going to have to be decisive early. And I guess that depends on what happens underneath him. Wake Up Jeff's quite a nice horse, but tractability issues there. He'd like to get forward, I'm sure. And based on we've seen him driven tough, a lot of ability, but tractability might stop that issue occurring.
Yeah, well, and also, I think he sort of Robbie has to look to go forward, given that, there's probably question marks around Better Move Matty off the arm as well. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm prepared to take the $1.80 the place, because if he does go away, then I can't see him.
How many units, Bomber, for the place?
Another 5 unit. We rarely have the 2 on the one night, but very confident about these 2.
That's good.
We're going to have to wait to the very last race for your last selection, Bomber, and that's race 10. It looks another good race, this one. The Westbred 4-year-old plus NR, 30 to 70 mobile start, and that the race is drawn 1, Air Marshal, $41. Matty Lou, $3.60 in gate 2. Star Lily, $26. Recover Lover, $61. El Waddell, $26. She's a Sassy Lassie, $17. Cordero, $5.50. Great to see him back in the winner stall last week. Do You See Me, $7. Make It Quick, $201. Bronze, $10. Flying Disco, $3.50. And Beat the Bank, $5.50. How are we playing this one, Bomber?
Yeah, it's funny. Matty Lou opened up very short, and I wasn't keen at all. But the more she drifts, the keener I get. I think she has enough gate speed to hold the outside brigade here and find the top. And once in front, probably only has to repeat that performance down at Pinjarra 2 runs back when led and held them out pretty comfortably and ran a nice last half on a wet track. And we can forget went around last Friday night when never saw daylight at any point. So comes here without taking any harm from that run. And, I think if Aiden can just dictate out in front, she's going to take plenty of catching.
That's his intention too. When we interviewed Aiden De Campo, he indicated that he thought he had enough to kick through and hold up.
Yeah, well, that's great to hear, because I thought that was the case, and it's just going to be a massive advantage out in front. I wouldn't be rushing with a drift on. She could even drift even further, but once that price stabilises, I'd be happy to take it. How many units, Bomber? 2 units. As I said, it's a funny game sometimes. I wasn't keen at all when looking at the opening price, and now the more I look at the race, the keener I get. And we got you locked in for the Punters Club. Yeah, looking forward to that. That'll be a great night. So, could be a little bit dusty coming off a Derby Melbourne Cup campaign, but you're a stayer. They tell me you're a very strong stayer, so you'll be.
I think if we lose, we'll all be looking at each other trying to blame someone. So
well, that could be right. Could get nasty. Keep that in mind.
No, it'll be good. It's always good to have someone to fall back on.
That's it.
Thanks very much for your time, Bomber. Hopefully we find a few winners tomorrow night, and it's going to be a fantastic night of racing.
Sure will. Thanks very much, guys. Have a great night.
Good on you, Bomber.
Thanks, Bomber.
The outside, trying to get Chivalry for third, but Bricky's Dream's going to absolutely walk it. He hasn't moved on it, and Bricky's Dream, Williams, as quiet as a church mouse, and wins it well.
As they swing for home, She's a Lucky Penny, got away a length and a half. Tiger Lou boxing on, Let's Rock Tonight. She's a Lucky Penny in front, and She's a Lucky Penny leads all the way.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.
New Mazda.
Yep, I love it. We got it from Bayswater Mazda.
I keep hearing great things about them.
They're fantastic to deal with. Great people, great coffee too.
At Bayswater Mazda, you'll always be well looked after. Visit the team today and find the best drive-away deals on new Mazdas and pre-owned vehicles. Driving is better with Bayswater Mazda.
So's the coffee.
Go and see Bayswater Mazda at the corner of Guildford and Garrett Road, Bayswater. DL 25174.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Mortz and Michael Radley.
That was She's a Lucky Penny winning last start, and that was the first training win for Joseph Savalco, and she was so close to winning her previous start at Pinjarra, and really deserved that win at Kellerberrin, didn't she, Glenn?
Yeah, congratulations on that one. The first winner's always a biggie. I think Abby is part owner of the horse, looking at the ownership too, Abby Vidovich. She drove it from memory on the day?
Yeah, she did, and she drove it really well as well. She rated it perfectly out in front, got away with plenty, and was able to give enough of a kick to beat Let's Rock Tonight, I think it was, who was in second there. So really good win. She's a Lucky Penny, and she's got a bit of gate speed and a little bit of speed in the run. So I think she's a horse that could win a couple more for them.
Those 1177s too might pick one of those up very shortly too. It's got good gate speed, as you say, and the way it went, dictated the race, good drive, and it went to the line nicely.
It did, and really good to see the junior drivers going so well with the new system. That is one of the really positive things that have come out of it. Junior drivers are getting a lot more opportunities, and drivers like Abby are driving a lot of winners at the moment, which is great to see. And Joey's not only training winners now, he's driving a lot of winners as well.
Yeah, sure is.
He's driven a couple of feature race winners recently. So
really encouraging to see that happen for sure.
It really is. Time to thank one of our sponsors, Bayswater Mazda, where the driving is better in a Bayswater Mazda, corner of Guildford and Garrett Road. So thanks for getting on board, and thanks for the support. We can't do it without the sponsors. So really, really good to have the sponsors on board, and their continued support is fantastic. So keeps the show running. Now for some tips for the country, my segment where I step in and hopefully find us a few winners. Haven't probably found us too many winners the last couple of weeks, but hopefully we can turn things around and find a few winners. We're racing at Northam on Friday night in conjunction with the fantastic Westbred meeting there, and we kick off at 5:36. It looks really good racing there. It's a 7-race card, but there's certainly some quality through the fields, and race 5 I thought was a really interesting race, and I think a horse here, Sydney Secret, is going to be really hard to beat. I think this horse was sold last start when first up, or was second up there for a while in its prep. It's only had a few runs, so it should nearly be nearing peak fitness in this race, and has some pretty good gate speed, and I think getting back in front in this race should be pretty hard to run down. It doesn't look a field with a huge amount of depth, so I think out in front it's going to be really hard to beat in that race. And then later on the card in the last race, I thought this was a really competitive field with a lot of horses from the stable of Lang Inward, but a horse here which is going particularly well at the moment. She's a mare, gets a really good draw here in gate 1, has options. I think will likely take a sit in the early stages and can look to utilise that sprint lane at Northam to hopefully run over the top late. And if it's able to get that really good run leaders back, I can definitely see it being too good late. A horse that's going quite well. So on a 1-2 basis, I can definitely see it being quite good each way value there.
Tommy Price may be the early leader there.
Yeah,
got a bit of gate speed.
Definitely a few there which have some gate speed. Brule gets out okay when it's racing well, and American Monarch probably not generally driven that way. So if She's a Mare is able to find the back of Tommy Price, I think he'd be a perfect horse to sit on if that's how it played out.
Sure would. How many units on those two selections?
Oh, probably about 3 units on Cindy's Secret, and probably just 1 each way on She's a Mare. She's probably a horse that needs a few things to go her way in her races. So if she is leaders back, though, I can see her definitely being hard to beat. And then we move on to Bunbury on Saturday night. It's another good card of racing. We've got 7 races there as well, and we kick off at 5:46 there. And one of my selections comes in that first race, and it's a horse that's drawn outside the back row, and it is crunch time. It did a fair bit of work in a heat of one of those Westbred races last start, and just found it a bit tough late and was beaten 21 metres, but that was certainly a tougher race than this one. And I can see there being a pretty solid early tempo in this race. I think Piper's Parade will be pretty keen to hold a forward position. Village DJ is a horse with early speed and may look to press forward as well, but it is first up from a spell. So that might be a little bit of a query. And Miss Vincenza is another horse that can look to push forward at the start. And I think if there's a bit of speed on it, it is crunch time. Is a horse with good ability, and he has quite good speed as well. So I think he can be suited running into it off the speed.
Yep, and that was belly up an elite fleet too, that race. So high class sort of race to be stuck out there.
Yeah, it is. And
so it's a forgive run.
A very big step back in grade here, and it's second up from a spell as well. So that could be the key to his chances in this race. And then slightly later on the card in race 3, I think there's a horse here which is dropping a long way back in grade. A little bit of a big query on where it's at the moment, hot-footed. But, gee, he looks well graded in this race. There's a few horses which probably haven't taken on the same company as he has, and he looks to get a good run off the speed. And I think if he's sort of somewhere near his best, I think it can be really hard to hold out in this race. So I think he's a really good each way bet in this race.
Should be a reasonable price from that draw, that's for sure.
Yeah, given his form's not amazing at the moment, but I do think anywhere near his best, he should be competitive in a race like this.
Very good, and the informed Liam Elliott to drive.
He is. He's going really well, and he was able to drive a winner there on Sunday at Calabarin while I was there. He's a Vibe. I think that was Michael Young's only winner for the day.
Yeah.
We went up there with him.
Painless.
So, yeah, maybe wear the bad luck charms, Matt Leppard and I. So we might have to give the trip out there a miss for his sake next time.
Yeah, well, that was good to get that out of the road because it hasn't really had circumstances run to suit He's a Vibe, so that was an easy kill for He's a Vibe. Might give confidence to the horse.
Yeah, he's a horse with really good speed, so I think getting on the front end there and leading was really the key to his chances in the end, and he was able to lead all the way and score pretty impressively. So that certainly shouldn't be the last win.
Not at all.
And then we've got a couple at Albion Park as well on Saturday. Albion Park on Saturday night looks like an interesting card. I thought the first race is a really interesting one here, and there's a few horses which are going particularly well at the moment in this Band 5. It's quite a strong Band 5, and generally the $20,000 Band 5s are. And a horse that is going super at the moment is Darren. He was really good his last start. He did a lot of work in that race, and he was able to battle on for a really good second there after starting from a wide gate, and he probably meets a much easier field here. He took on Rocket City there, and Rocket City is a former Perth horse who has really just gone on in leaps and bounds over East now since joining the stable of Donnie Smith. So that looks a really good form reference, and I can certainly see Darren pushing forward here, and I think the horses underneath him would probably be happy to take a sit, and if he's able to get the front, he's gonna be extremely hard to beat in this race.
What price was that, do you think?
I think it'll probably be about $1.50, $1.70 type thing. And
race one.
Yeah, and he's a horse that can do work in his races, which you probably can't say for a lot of horses, especially in Queensland at this sort of metro level. So I think just in the band 5 grade, he's just very well graded here. So I think however it plays out early, he's going to be hard to beat. But if he pushes the front, I think he really does look the winner.
Sound confident there? How many units that one?
Yeah, I'd probably have 4 units on that one. Yeah.
Yep.
And then on to race 4. Probably don't have as much confidence in this one since it's a trotter's stand-start event. But Izara has been really impressive since landing in Queensland and has run some really good races. Last start met similar horses to this from the mobile, Zealous Spur and Love Gun. So met them on equal terms there, and this time gets a 20-metre handicap start on those horses and has generally been a pretty good horse from the stand start. So I think this race looks to set up really favourably for Izara, and I can definitely see it settling somewhere on the speed. If it was able to lead and then take a sit on the right horse, I can see it being a horse that's running on in the finish. It's got quite good high speed, so it looks suited in this race. If it's able to get away cleanly, I think it's a really solid each way hope, and we'll just be looking to beat those 2 classy back marks in Love Gun and Zealous Spur. Have been in great form recently.
Yeah, sure have. How many units that one?
That one's probably just a unit each way, so a little bit less confidence given it's a trotter stand start, but horse is going well, so we'll hope she does everything right in that race.
Okie dokie. A bit of housekeeping if I can. Look, race 8, Gloucester Park tomorrow night. Mitch Miller's down to drive 2 horses. I've sought clarification that the sites have not been updated. I'm not sure why, but for clarification, Mitch is driving Lulamore in race 8, and Kyle Symington's driving Beat It Like Becca. It's not updated yet on Tap Touch. So just for the punters, Mitch on Lulamore, Kyle on Beat It Like Becca. Race 9, some line is Mitch, and Firth of Clyde is Stewie McDonald. It's race 9, some line Mitchell, and Firth of Clyde, Stewie McDonald. Just to clarify, because that's not updated yet, not sure why, but the punters need to know.
Obviously very important knowing who's driving what. The drivers in races really are such a key aspect of it.
Particularly when you've got the choice.
Yeah, not knowing which one someone's driving is it makes it pretty tough to have a bet in the race.
Sure does, but anyway, just wanted to clarify that because I noticed it's still not updated, so something's wrong with the system there because those drivers should have been up well before betting opened.
Well, I think that might bring the show to a close nearly for the day. Really, really good night of racing tomorrow. It looks like it's going to be fantastic. Some really competitive races and some nice horses going around. Great to hear from Aiden De Campo earlier. He gave some great insights, didn't he?
He did. Look, it was tremendous to have Aiden on board. And tomorrow morning on the Retrovision Gloucester Park preview, we have Gary Hall Jr. So tune in tomorrow morning for Gary Hall Jr. We'll go through the races with him. I think you're on the preview. Trent's off tomorrow. You're on the Gloucester Park preview with Matt Young tomorrow chairing. So we'll get Gary Hall Jr. on to give us his summation of his drives tomorrow night. Very important.
Hopefully we can find a few winners on what's a really good card tomorrow night. There's certainly plenty to choose from.
Should be good. Looking forward to it. Great to have your company today on the show. And the boys, I think, will probably be back next week.
Yeah, I'd say so. Thanks very much, Glenn. I really appreciate you joining me. And
yeah, no, thanks very much for inviting me on. All good.
Thanks very much.
Talking Trots with Mortz and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.